Now, there's some ideas that have been proposed that are to create a sort of fishing-free zone or a kind of a national
MPAs,
parks
sure.
in the ocean. NPA is
Marine protected areas.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, all of us pay taxes, or most of us pay taxes, and those taxes go in part to creating these MPAs, these marine protected
And
areas.
do they work?
They're like national parks. In some cases they do. It depends very, very basically on not only the paper that it's based on, but also the enforcement and the respect of people. So just like state parks or national parks, if you enjoy and respect those national parks as off-limit zones in terms of hunting, fishing, whatever, then they get to thrive. And those can be the sanctuaries or the investment points from which we can use the interest that it bears. There's what we call a spillover effect, basically, from these MPAs, where a lot of fishermen who were originally opposed to protected areas because they felt that they were being, those things were being taken away from them, have just a few years later have been fishing more than twice their annual catch because of those MPAs.
And is the biggest threat to the ocean, too much fish being taken out, or is it to the amount of pollution being put in? I mean, how do you balance those things
you
out?
want to simplify things, don't you? Well, I'd say we have three basic issues that we have to deal with. We have the pollution issues, which are the things that we see, such as plastics and disposables that we use for just a few minutes. And although this is made of glass, thankfully, and we have things that are not seen, the runoff issues such as fertilizers, and of course toxic chemicals, of which we're subject to over 100,000 in our daily lives, man-made toxic chemicals. We've only tested for about 10,000. And then we have other issues. We have overfishing issues. We cannot take any more out of our oceans. We've lost almost 60% of our world's total fish stocks. We've lost over 90% of our world's pelagic fish, the tunas, the billfish, the sharks, from overuse of those resources. And then lastly, of course, which you've mentioned earlier, is climate change, which are affecting some of our planet's places, such as the oceans, in fundamental ways that we are only now beginning to understand.
And so are you optimistic we can do something about this?
If I weren't, I wouldn't be doing what I do. I'm very much I'm a big fan of humans, in the sense that I think that when we're faced with difficult challenges, monumental challenges in this case, we can create miracles in short order, but we all have to be on the same page, and we all have to be rowing in the proverbial same direction. Yes, I am optimistic, but I'm also a realist. We have very large challenges, and the time that we spend debating rather than acting is the time that we lose that bank account, that natural resource bank account that we depend on for our daily lives.